Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you are very well. Okay. Nowadays you are very busy. You are taking rest, and also you are doing classwork and homework, and also studying work. Yes, reading the book. You are doing many work. Yes or no? Okay, children. This lesson we have not yet completed. Today we have to complete them. Okay. There some parts are there. We have to see them. Okay, children. Are you happy? Because we are learning. You are learning some new things. So you are happy. Okay, children. We will see that. Okay. Metalloids. How to read this word? Metalloids. These elements contain the characteristics of metals as well as non-metals. This type of elements, the metalloid elements contain the characteristics of metals. They have metal character as well as non-metals character. Okay, metals character. Already we studied that. What are metals? Non-metal. We know that difference. Metals elements exist in solid state. Most of them exist in solid state. Then they are good conductor of heat and electricity. Yes, these are the characteristic about about metals. Then non-metals, they exist in solid, liquid and also gaseous state. They are brittle. They do not have special shine. They do not have, which one? Non-metals, they do not have. Non-metals do not have special shine, but metals have a typical shine on them. Example: iron, copper, aluminium, gold, silver. We studied that. Here non-metals: carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen. These are examples of non-metals. But non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Electricity. Exception is graphite. That is elemental carbon. Graphite, that is good conductor of electricity. Okay. So here the children, metalloids. The metalloid elements have the characteristics of both metals as well as non-metals. For example, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony. Say, all of you say with me: silicon, germanium, arsenic and antimony. Okay, and antimony. Say again: silicon, germanium, arsenic and antimony. It is not a country. Okay, germanium, it is one of the metalloid element. Okay, children, these elements contain the metalloids. The elements contain the characteristics of both metal as well as non-metals. Okay, children, did you understand this one? Okay, we will study them in detail. Listen, children, you look at this. Metalloids contain the characteristics of both metals as well as non-metals. Examples we have studied. Now, symbols. We study about symbols. Symbols are the abbreviations used to represent the one atom of an element. Each element has a symbol. You see, each and every element has a symbol. The symbol of an element can be the element symbol can be the first letter of the name of the element. The first letter of the name of the element. For example, carbon. The first letter is C. Okay. Then for example, nitrogen. The first letter is N. So the N is the symbol of the nitrogen element. Okay, children. Sulfur. The first letter is S. So the first letter of the name of the element is the symbol of that element. The first letter of the name of the element in English. Okay, that is that symbol. That is that symbol of an element. So the symbol of an element can be the first letter of the name of the element in English, written in capital letters. Okay. Oxygen is represented by O. Carbon has the symbol. Sulfur has the symbol S. Sulfur. Nitrogen has the symbol N. Then what is there any other one? Do you know? Okay, children. So the first letter of the name of an element, when we are writing them in English capital letters, The first letter should be the symbol of an element. Okay. Then, if there are more elements with their names, starting with the same first letter, then the symbol of such element will have two letters. Okay, listen children. Suppose some more elements with their name starting with the same first letter, then the symbol of such element will have two letters. The first letter is written in capital letter and the second one is in small letter. For example, chlorine. C is the capital letter, L is the small letter. Zinc, Z is the capital letter, N is the small letter. Calcium, C is the capital letter, A is the small letter. Okay, I can say many examples. Okay, children. So the symbols first, the first letter. Second, if there are more elements with the same with their names starting with the same first letter, so we have to add the second one. But that second one is in small letter. For here, calcium, chlorine, copper are the names of elements starting with the same letter. For calcium, C. Chlorine, C. Copper, C. Okay. So the first with their names starting with the same first letter. So that the symbol of the element will have two letters. Calcium, Ca. Chlorine, Cl. Copper, Cu. Okay children, can you understand? Did you understand this one? Got it children? So calcium, chlorine, copper are the names of elements starting with the same letter C. Next, in some elements the symbol is obtained from their names in Latin. In some elements the symbol is obtained from their name in Latin. For example, gold. The Latin name of gold is aurum. So that the symbol is obtained from that Latin, from their name in Latin. So AU. Okay. Then iron. The Latin name of iron is ferrum. So Fe. Can you understand? Okay. How this symbol comes? You have doubt? Yes. Now your doubt is clear. Okay, children. Next we will study about the name and symbol of some elements. You see here, the first letter, suppose more elements with their names starting with the same first letter. Calcium, chlorine, copper, like this. Same first letter. So, such a symbol of the element will have two letters. Yes, Ca. Calcium, Ca. Chlorine, Cl. Then copper, Cu. Can you understand children? Next, in some elements the symbol is obtained from the names in Latin. Already I told you, gold, aurum. The Latin word is aurum. So that symbol, Au. Then iron, the Latin word of iron is ferrum. So that Fe. That symbol of iron is Fe. Did you understand? Okay children. Look at this. Name, we will study about name and symbol of some elements. First name of the element, then symbol of the element, then name of the element, symbol. So we are studying about only name and symbol of some elements. For hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, sulfur, chlorine, lead, zinc, iron, copper, calcium, gold. I read again the name of element. I am reading only the element name. Okay. Hydrogen. You also read with me. Hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, sulfur, chlorine, lead, zinc, iron, copper, calcium, gold. Okay children, now we study their symbol. Hydrogen, the first letter is H. So H. Nitrogen, the first letter is N. So N. Oxygen, the first letter of oxygen is O. So that it is O. Carbon, the first letter is C. So that is C. Sodium, Na. Why inga sodium irukkude, inga Na varudhu. We should not say like this. Okay, sodium, that is the symbol of an element is Na. Sodium, the symbol of element is Na. Magnesium, the symbol of the element is Mg. Because why, how ma'am, two letters comes here? Already I told you, many elements with their names starting with the same first letter. That's why that symbol has two letters. One is capital, another one letter is small letter. Okay, that's why Mg. Aluminium, Al. Silicon, Si. Then sulfur, S. Chlorine, Cl. Lead, Pb. Then zinc, Zn. Then next, copper, Cu. Iron, Fa. Calcium, Ca. Gold, Aur. Okay, children. So we studied name of an element and also symbol of element. If the name of element, if the question is what is the symbol of hydrogen element, you should write H. What is the symbol of iron? What is the symbol of iron? Fe. You should not write IR. Then what is the symbol of chlorine? You should write Cl. Okay, children, we should write the element name. We should write the symbol according to their name of element. According to their name of element. Did you understand? Okay. Now we are going to study about history of symbols. We are going to study about history of symbols. You see, gold and silver symbol given by alchemist. Gold and silver symbol given by alchemist. Given by alchemist. Look at that picture. Gold. Another one is silver. So gold and silver symbol given by alchemist. Already we know gold symbol is Au. Silver, do you know? Okay, children, we will study that. You see here the chemical symbols. The chemical symbols that we use today, the chemical symbols that we use today were described in ancient time by alchemists. They were described in ancient time by alchemists. The chemical symbols that we use today, they were described in ancient time by alchemists. Alchemists were the first chemists who developed an extraordinary language to describe all things from chemical reaction to philosophical tenets. Alchemists, they were the first chemists who developed an extraordinary language to describe all things from chemical reaction to philosophical tenets. So we call them, they are alchemists. So all the chemical symbol that we use today, whatever we are using today, they are described in ancient time by alchemists. Now gold is the earliest known metal, and the ancient alchemists represented it with a symbol consisting of a circle with a sphere in the middle, which represented sun. Listen, gold is the earliest known metal. Gold is the earliest known metal, and the ancient alchemists represented it with a symbol consisting of a circle with a sphere in the middle. A circle with a sphere in the middle, which represented sun. Okay, it looks like sun. Now, silver symbol by alchemist is associated with moon. Gold symbol represented sun. Here, silver symbol by alchemist is associated with the moon. Okay, the moon shape, the shape of the moon. So that one is associated with moon. Next, listen. So what we studied? We studied the history of symbols, gold and silver symbol. History of symbols. Okay, children. Now we study about the chemistry in sports. We study about chemistry in sports. The gold, silver, bronze medals for the winner or runner-up and second runner-up. Yes, winner, runner-up and second runner-up respectively. They were adopted by Olympics Game Committee in 1904 in Louis in St. Louis. In St. Louis. Listen. The gold, silver and bronze medals for the winner, runner-up and second runner-up respectively were adopted by Olympic Game Committee. They were adopted by Olympic Game Committee in 1904 in St. Louis. Here you see here children, according to Greek mythology, gold, silver and bronze represents the first three ages of man. These three represents the first three ages of man. Golden age, when men lived among gods. That is golden age. Listen, golden age when men lived among gods. So we call that age is mentioned as golden age. That one mentioned as golden age. According to Greek mythology, gold, silver, bronze represent the first three ages of man. Okay, now we are going to study about chemistry in sports. In sports, okay, the gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal, they are giving for winner, runner-up and second runner-up. Yes. So respectively they are giving they were adopted by Olympic Game Committee in 1904 in St. Louis. According to Greek mythology, what about mythology? Do you know? The field includes archaeology, comparative mythology. Okay, here a collection of myths, especially one belonging to a particular religious or cultural tradition. Tales from Greek mythology. So according to the Greek mythology, particular religious or cultural tradition. Okay, so according to Greek mythology, the gold, silver and bronze represent the first three ages of man. The first three ages of man, they are representing like this. Golden age, when men lived among gods. When that name is mentioned as golden age, when men lived among gods. When men lived among gods, so that one mentioned as golden age. Okay children, so the chemistry helps in sports and also in our daily life, Okay children, listen children, we studied three age: golden age, silver age and bronze age. You say with me: golden age, silver age, bronze age. We know there's golden medal, silver medal, bronze medal. According to golden age, when men lived among gods, மனிதர்கள் தெய்வங்களிடையே வாழ்ந்த நாட்கள். வாழ்கின்ற வாழ்க்கை, that is golden age. Okay, then silver age. What is that? Silver age, when youth lasted for 100 years. When youth lasted for 100 years. இளைஞர்கள் கடைசியாக 100 ஆண்டுகளாக இருந்தபோது. When youth lasted for 100 years. 100 ஆண்டுகளாக இருந்தபோது youth, இளைஞர்கள். Okay, then next bronze age, the era of heroes. ஹீரோக்களின் சகாப்தம், that is the era of heroes. Okay children, so the Olympic medals, 3 medals: golden, silver and also bronze medals. Then what about Greek mythology? Greek mythology represents the first three ages of man, that is first three ages of man. Then they mentioned the golden age, silver age and also bronze age. Okay children, let us study about compounds. Compounds is a pure substance made up of two or more elements that combine in a definite proportion. Already we know this is a pure substance, element and compound. Yes, two types. The compound is a pure substance made up of two or more elements that combine in a definite proportion. For example, water, chalk, carbon dioxide. Water, hydrogen and oxygen. It is made of two elements. One element hydrogen and also oxygen. So that is a compound. So already we told you compound is made up of two or more elements. Okay. Then chalk. That is listen, compound made up of three elements. Calcium, carbon, oxygen. Calcium, carbon, oxygen. Then carbon dioxide, carbon and oxygen. It is a compound made up. So we studied the compound and their example. Okay, children. Here you see some example: water, chalk and carbon dioxide. Molecular formula of carbon dioxide CO2. Okay. Then molecular formula of water H2O. Molecular formula of water H2O. So we studied these are an examples of compound and these are an examples of compound. Then it is a, listen children, it is in the water, it is a compound made up of two elements, but chalk, it is a compound made up of three elements: calcium, carbon, then oxygen. Okay, because calcium carbonate. Chalk, what is the molecular formula of chalk? Calcium carbonate. Okay, so that calcium, carbon and also oxygen. Then carbon dioxide, carbon and oxygen. So that it is a compound made up of two elements, carbon dioxide, carbon and oxygen. Did you understand, children? Let us study about characteristics of compound. Let us study about characteristics of compound. Compounds are formed by the chemical combination of two or more elements in a fixed composition. Compounds are formed the chemical by two or more elements, combine two or more elements. Okay. Then the properties of compounds are completely different from the elements from which they are formed. Listen, the properties of compound also completely different from the elements from which they are formed. For example, water is a compound. For H2O, it has two property. It is a liquid in natural state. It is liquid in natural state. It has, listen, water is a compound. It has its own property. It has its own property. That means liquid is a natural state. Liquid is a natural state. Okay. Then we are able to use water to quench our thirst. We are able to use water. If it is broken down, we get hydrogen and also oxygen. So these two elements are in the form of gas. Hydrogen and also oxygen, they are in the form of gas. So their properties are entirely different from water. So so that we studied the properties of compound are completely different from the element. Okay, children? The properties, so that the properties of compounds are completely different from the elements from which they are formed. Then compounds are formed when elements combine in a fixed composition. For example, water is formed by the combination of hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 1:8 by mass. 1:8. And the ratio is 1:8 by mass. Okay, children. So these are the characteristics of compound. These are the characteristics of compound. Listen, first point, the compounds are formed by the chemical combination of two or more elements. Okay, in a fixed composition. Then the properties of compounds are also completely different from the elements from which they are formed. Example for example, water. Then compounds are formed when elements combine in a fixed composition. Compounds are formed when elements are combined in a fixed composition. For example, water is formed by the combination of hydrogen and also oxygen in the ratio 1:8 by mass. Okay, children. Now we study about atoms and molecules. We study about atoms and molecules. Look at this. Matter is made up of very small atoms. That is a very small particles. Atom is a very small particle. Okay. So that atom is defined as the smallest part of an element. smallest part of an element, which may or may not exist on its own, which may or may not. Define atom. What is the answer? Atom is defined as the smallest part of an element, smallest part of an element which may or may not exist of its own, which may or may not exist on its own. Okay children, this is the answer. Then characteristics of atom. If anyone asks, hey, what is atom? Anu. Okay, அது எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா, it is the smallest tiny particle. It is a மிகவும் நுண்ணிய துகள். ஓகே, மிகச்சிறிய துகள். மிகச்சிறிய துகள்ல தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்? அணு அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். அதத்தான் இங்கிலீஷ்ல ஆட்டம் என்று சொல்லுவோம். ஓகே children, so atom is defined as the smallest part of an element. Then characteristics of atom. Now all atoms of the element are identical and have similar properties. All the atoms of element are identical and they have similar properties, same properties. They have same property. அதனுடைய பண்புகள் சேமா இருக்கும். சரியா? are identical. நம்மளால அதை என்ன செய்யலாம்? ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணலாம். They are identical and have similar properties. Then the atoms of one element differ from the atom of other element. The atoms of one, for example, hydrogen atom is different from the oxygen atom. Okay, so the atom of one element differ from the atom of other element. Atoms are the smallest unit of matter that take part in chemical reaction. So the atoms already, whatever we studied, that comes again and again. So the atoms are the smallest parts. It is a tiny particle of matter, so that atoms are taking part in the chemical reaction. Atoms are taking part in the chemical reaction. Okay children, next we will study about molecules. We have studied atoms and characteristics of atoms. Now we are going to study about molecules. We are going to study about molecules. Okay, some atoms cannot exist independently, but atoms, they may or may not exist on its own. Here some atoms cannot exist independently, so they combine among themselves. They combine among themselves. They form molecules. Molecules, what define molecules? It is the smallest part of an element or a compound that can exist independently. They can exist independently. Okay, listen, atoms cannot exist independently, so they combine among themselves to form the molecules. The molecules is the smallest part of an element or compound. They can exist independently. If the atom of the same element combine among themselves, they form a molecule of the element. Listen, if the atom of the same elements combine among themselves, if the atoms of same element combine among themselves, they form the molecule of the element. They form the same element உடைய ஆட்டம் வந்து ஒன்றுக்கு ஒன்றோடு கம்பைன் ஒன்று சேரும்போது they form a molecule of the element. They form the molecule of an element. For example, we study that example. Listen, we studied the molecule of the element. Yes, we studied the molecule of the element. Example, oxygen molecule is made up of 2 atoms of oxygen. Okay, then chlorine molecule is made up of, we studied the molecule of the element example, oxygen molecule, then chlorine, nitrogen. So here oxygen molecule is made up of 2 atoms of oxygen, chlorine molecule is made up of 2 atoms of chlorine, nitrogen molecule is made up of 2 atoms of nitrogen. Nitrogen molecule is made up of 2 atoms of nitrogen. You see here, if the atom of an element, one element, combine with the atom of or atoms of different element. First we saw atoms of same element combine among themselves. Here one element combine with a different element, that is form molecule of a compound. Example, one atom of sodium element combine with one atom of chlorine element to form one molecule of sodium chloride. Okay, then one atom of carbon element combine with 2 atoms of oxygen. They forming one molecule of carbon dioxide. They forming one molecule of carbon dioxide. These are an example of molecule of a compound. These are an example of molecule of a compound. Did you understand children? What how molecule of the element comes, how molecule of a compound comes. Did you understand? Okay. Listen children, all of you, listen carefully. Now we are going to write the classwork. We are going to write the classwork. All of you take your classwork note and get ready to write the classwork. You started writing nowadays. You have started writing some lessons classwork also, some lessons questions also. Yes. So here this is lesson. Which lesson is this? Lesson 3. Yes, lesson 3. So lesson 3 already you started writing. Lesson 3 you started writing. Yes or no children? Okay. I am giving some questions to write. I am giving some questions to write. So did you take your classwork note children? Get ready. I give the question with answer. Listen. Did you take the classwork note? Okay. Write the fourth question. The questions are in page number 45. All of you take page number 45. Fourth question. With the help of an activity, explain how liquids take the shape of the vessel. So you draw these three. That activity, with the help of activities, how liquids take the. So you must draw this. Okay. The liquids, the different container are there. So you draw that. So you listen, write and listen. The juice take the shape of the. You mark that. You can mark in the book also. The juice take the shape of the container. The juice flows easily into the containers. In all container, the volume of the juice remains the same. This activity shows the following. First you draw the pictures. After that you write. Okay children? Okay, are you listening me? This activity shows the following. Liquids have a definite volume. Liquids flow easily. Liquids do not have definite shape, but they take the shape of the vessel. Write fast children. Draw neatly. You can draw in small size also, okay, but your drawing should be looking good. Okay children? So but the size of picture may be small, but you should draw neatly, and write that sentences also. Okay children? Did you complete children? No. Now you are going to draw. Okay, right. Draw fast. The juice takes the shape of the container. The juice flows easily into the container. In all containers, the volume of the juice remains the same. This activity shows the following. Liquids have a definite volume. Liquids flow easily. Liquids do not have definite shape, but they take the shape of the vessel. Have you finished writing children? Okay, we will go to the next question. Now write the fifth question. Write two characteristics each for metal and non-metal with examples. Write two characteristics each for metal and non-metal with examples. The questions are in page number 45. Write soon, write fast, write neatly. Don't look here and there. Okay. Don't cut and write neatly. First, listen. Metal. They have a typical shine on them. They have a typical shine on them. They are, second point, they are good conductors of heat and electricity. Example, gold, silver. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. Example, gold, silver. non-metal. They are brittle. எளிதில் உடையக்கூடியது. They do not have a special shine. Example, carbon, oxygen. Carbon, oxygen. Okay, children. Did you write or not? Write fast. Read and write. Read the spelling. Typical, T-Y-P-I-C-A-L, typical. Shine, S-H-I-N-E, shine. Then they are good conductors, C-O-N-D-U-C-T-O-R-S, good conductors of heat and electricity. E-L-E-C-T-R-I-C-I-T-Y, electricity. Non-metal, they are brittle, B-R-I-T-T-L-E, they are brittle. They do not have special shine. They do not have special shine. Okay, okay, children. Now you read with me. Metal, they have a typical shine on them. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. Example, gold, silver. Then come to the non-metal. They are brittle. They do not have a special shine. Example, carbon, oxygen. Okay, children. Okay. Next, classify the following. Classify the following. Write that question. Iron is iron, hydrogen, copper, silicon, aluminium, nitrogen, germanium, carbon. Now you write iron. Write that metal. Iron is a metal. Okay. Then hydrogen. Hydrogen is a non-metal. Then copper, metal. Silicon is metalloids. Then aluminium, metal. Nitrogen, non-metal. Germanium, metalloids. Carbon, non-metals. Okay, children. Write fast. This one you should write in classwork. Okay. Write the heading, and you should take and write a question. Iron. After that you write metal. Don't write A, metal, B, non-metal. Okay. You should listen the question with answer. It should be the classwork should be question with answer. Okay, children. Okay. Okay. Iron, metal. Hydrogen, non-metal. Copper, metal. Silicon, metalloids. Aluminium, metal. Nitrogen, non-metal. Germanium, metalloids. Carbon, non-metals. Did you write, children? Okay. I will give the classwork. I will give homework. I will give you homework. Okay, children. I will give you homework. So get ready for writing homework. Okay. Did you take your homework note, children? Okay. Only one question. Only one question is that, with the help of an activity, explain the matter has intermolecular space. With the help of an activity, explain the matter has intermolecular space. Okay. This is the homework question. So find the answer, write soon, take photo and send the homework in our school WhatsApp. Okay, children. Okay. Okay. Thank you all.